Hello, everyone. My name is Angelique Lisa, and this is the intro episode of the Message Podcast. I am so excited and thankful that you are joining me on this journey of seeking and learning to love the truth in the messages of the Bible in the way that glorifies God. So, I want to introduce myself and share a little bit of background about me and the birth of the podcast. Like I said, my name is Angelique Lisa. I am 23 years old. I currently reside in Alabama. I am a wife and a mother of a 3-year-old daughter. I am the eldest of 6 kids. My late father was a youth pastor, and my mother is the walk evangelist. Like, she does not play. My whole life, I have walked with the Lord. I was saved around age 5 or 6. And as a child, I knew about the love of Christ. My life has seen so many seasons of ups and downs since that age, of course. And as a teen, I did rebel. I fell into peer pressure. Sometimes I initiated the peer pressure, and I consciously stepped out from my relationship with the Lord and became, as the Bible would say, an unfaithful bride, to the point that I saw no recovery. But Christ is so faithful. The Lord was still with me, showing me the favor and the protection with loving arms. Then in the year of 2020, in the summer of the pandemic, I rededicated my life back to Christ. And now in the season that I am in, I can look back and say that I was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. I was dead, but now with Him, I'm alive. And to kind of give you a little bit information about this podcast. So I feel like within the past couple of years, we've kind of lost this sense of community. In the start of 2020 in March, which will probably be that would be 3 years ago almost. We wasn't able to go outside. We were stuck in the house. We wasn't able to see our loved ones, our friends. We was just really alone. And I feel like we need to get back to community. We need to get back to fellowship, because even the Bible talks about not forsaking the fellowship. We need one another, especially in today's generation. More than ever, the church needs to have someone, or to have a group of people, that we can fall back on. And this is what I kind of want this podcast to really be about, is a sense of community, is a sense of friendship. And I want to learn what it means to seek the truth. What is truth, and knowing the truth, loving the truth, and in today's generation, another problem is everybody individually believes in their own truth. I've heard some people say, well, this is my truth and I'm sticking to it, well, this is what I believe in, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, the body of Christ knows, like, there's only one way, one truth to life, and that's Jesus Christ. He's the only way, point blank, period. I really want this podcast to be about learning and loving the truth and having a sense of fellowship and community. I want us to really become friends in this podcast. And I want to just help people in our lives and the situations that we go through. Even though that we are Christians and we are children of God, we go through bad things just as much as we go through good things. We know about the goodness of God. We know about the love, the peace, and the joy, and the goodness and the faithfulness. But we also know about, depression, anxiety. Some individuals, know about suicide. I'm going to say this really quick. Just because you're going through, suicidal thoughts, or you're suicidal, that does not mean you don't believe. If anybody has ever told you just because you're suicidal or you're having suicidal thoughts that you're not a Christian, that is bad theology. Let's get that out of our heads now. And I really want to be a help, because when I was going through depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts and things of that sort, I didn't get the help that I needed or that I wanted, and I didn't get the community that I needed. I literally had to rely on Jesus to get me out of that. I had to rely on my family to get out of that. And I don't want to cry. Not on the intro episode, I don't want to cry, but please seek help if you are going through that. And I just want this to be a type of helping, loving, non-judgmental type of podcast, because I believe that, the body of Christ is all about loving God, loving people, and loving the truth. And 100%ly, that's what I want on this podcast. So we're going to be talking about real issues that people go into day-to-day lives, and we're going to be looking through the Bible to see the type of people in the Bible that went through situations that we're going through, because the Bible is just not just this one big book of stories or people that was written over just 2,000 years ago, and it doesn't relate to what we go through today. That is totally not true. As soon as you crack open that Bible, the stories literally come to life. Those people come to life. Those situations, they come to life. And I want us to be able to learn from the people from the Bible, what they did, what was their responses, what was their reactions, what did they go through, how did they get through it, or even if they didn't, get through it, what is something that we can do, how can we relate. And that's really what I want this podcast to be about. So I thank you guys for joining me and listening to this first intro, and let us stay connected. I want us to be friends. We're going to be uploading here on YouTube and Apple Podcasts and Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, every other Saturday. Hopefully in due time I will be more consistent, but your girl works a full-time job, and then like I said, I'm a wife and I'm a mom, so I'm gonna stay consistent. But I'm not gonna leave y'all hanging. I'm not gonna say all this good stuff and then leave y'all hanging. No. I really want us to become friends, and follow us on social media. My TikTok and my Instagram, they both have the same username. Look up Angelique Lisa 316. Angelique is ANGELIQUE, Lisa 316. And I will also be posting little snippets of the podcast, and just updates on new posts and events. And comment down below on what topics you want us to be discussing or talking about and things like that. And if it's a real tough topic that you want us to cover, put it down. I'm not a stranger to tough topics. And this is not one of those podcasts where in one episode we're going to be talking about a topic and okay, we got our answers, we're done with that. No, because sometimes we don't get our answers in a 30-minute episode or a 45-minute episode. We don't get our answers that quick. I know when I pray to God, I don't get my answers within 30 minutes. He's not a microwavable or an air fryer type of God. He's a slow cooking, slow rising type of God. So, sometimes you have to get your answers in more than one sitting, and I am more than ready to sit down and have these conversations. Just crack open this book and let's get to talking. And I do thank you for joining me and taking the time and listening today. And stay tuned for the very first episode. The first episode will be about what is the Bible. Because in order to really dive in and seek the Bible, you really have to know what it is first. So that's the first episode is going to be what is the Bible. And so I really encourage you guys to really subscribe and stay tuned. And put that notification bell on just so that you don't miss anything of what we do. I'm telling you guys, this ride is going to be so fulfilling, so purposeful, and I'm so excited and so ready. So, y'all have a good day. Bye.